Hello and welcome to this review of Power Station. Not just one, but two units. So I will explain you the goods, the bads, and what we like about these devices, and if it worked well or not, and will I recommend it. Just to let you know, we did purchase these units ourselves for our various van life trips across Canada and the US to the Florida and back and forth from Montreal. So let's dive in. These devices are AFERY Power Station. It's very nice and cheap alternative to other brands. At first, we were actually a bit afraid of buying from that brand because it's a new brand that we never heard of. I mean, you hear all of these. If you're in the power station world, you probably came across various other brands that do a lot of marketing, and I've been there for a long time. When we did purchase these, the key differentiate thing was the price point of these devices. It was way cheaper, and the form factor of them did make more sense for our needs. When I wanted to purchase this, I was looking at other brands and looking at on the internet. I was like, I'm not sure about this brand, right? I don't know anything about them. There's almost no review about it. But then you have all these other brands where there's thousands and thousands of reviews, and I don't know, if when you're looking at a review, make sure that you have pros and cons and real user experience and not people receiving free products. Because it's a really shame approach these days. People are receiving free products, and I trust you. Trust me. This is not something I'm gonna do on the channel right now. I'm doing here. I mean, I want to review all the product what we actually bought and used, and if we liked it or not, and it's really trust, true product that we've tested or used during our trips. And one thing that I look into when I was buying Power Station, what is this company? So I went on LinkedIn 2 years ago almost, and I look at what is the company. So it was really a small company. I was like, yeah, it's a small company, but everything is made in China anyway, or almost. So why not? Why not give a chance to this brand? And I'm very happy I did. And if you're looking today, I need to check, and if I'm wrong, I will note it in the comment. But I think right now they are about 50 employees in their LinkedIn page. So I think that proved that it's a growing company that is building a brand. And trust me, right now, no complaints, and I'm pretty sure that this device will last forever. I mean, okay, yes, I got an issue with the charging port. I'm not sure how it happened, but in the end, they actually replaced it at no fees at the time of this video. So I'm very happy. So let's go with the spec of these devices, if you don't mind. The 800 watt versus the bigger one, the 1200 watt. So these devices are pure sine wave AC. Both converters are AC, pure sine wave. This is important because if you don't want to break any electronic devices that you own, you need to have pure sine wave. Everybody have pure sine wave these days. If they don't, like, don't ever think of buying anything out of that company. So let's start with the spec of the smaller devices, and after that we'll go with the bigger one. So the small devices here have, this is the AFERY P010, which is the 800 watt inverter with 512 watt-hour battery, which represents 20 amp hour at 25.6 volt, something like that. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm reading here, but I'm not expert in what it means. The AC charge is 400 watt. You can charge from AC, from the wall. You can charge the full device in 1.5 hours from 0 to 100%. But to be fair, you recharge this device in up to 80% way quicker, because up to 80% you will charge at 400 watt, but when you reach for 80%, it will drop to 200 watt to preserve the battery life span. Or, I mean, all the lithium and power station works the same way. At 80%, they will start charging at half capacity. So this one, you charge the device in 1.5 hours, completely from 0 to 100%. You can also charge it using the XTC60. Make sure that if you're buying this, this device already comes with XTC60 and all the charging cable. The XT60 to MC4 connectors for your solar panel. This is, the MC4 connectors are standard, and you can just plug it in here, and then you plug your solar panel and you can recharge it. It doesn't come with the car charger. So this is a car charging that we actually bought. And the reason why we bought this car charging was we were going to do a lot of traveling across Canada. And oops. So we wanted to do traveling across Canada, and we said, you know what, if we are able to charge this one at 100 watt and this one at 100 watt, we're actually charging at 200 watt basically during our travel. That means that we can recharge our device, keep our fridge, and don't need to rely too much on the sun power. But did it work? Not too bad. It could have been better. So this, you actually use the same charging port, the XT60, not the XT90 of this one. So you need to have two of these for two different, you cannot use the same one on both of them. And then you plug that in your cigarette lighter. While you're doing this, you're not able to charge with your solar. It also comes with a nice bag where you have all your cables in it stored that you can carry on just and not losing them around. It also comes with a protection bag that you can put on top of it. I never use it, to be fair, but maybe it could be useful for you. If you're charging it through the XT60 only, it will be maximum of 200 watt, and it will take about 3 hours. In reality, you never get 200 watt all the time, you know, so you can expect more like a 6-hour charge, 6-hour sun, because you're probably going to be using the device at the same time. So maybe think like it will take the whole day to charge it at 200 with that 200 watt solar panel. Now, if you have a 100 watt solar panel, you're probably not gonna make it. You know, it will take 6 hours if you're not using the device, and if you have full sun. So I really don't recommend 100 watt solar panel. Just go with the 200 watt, and you'll be more happy with. So the charging time is about 1 to 5 hours completely if you're using AC. If I'm not mistaken, you can charge with AC and solar. I think these devices. Let me see if that's true. I just want to confirm that. Induction. I haven't tried dual charging on these devices. Let me just see here. So in this device, I don't see any dual charging mode. You have the XTC 60 port where you can connect solar panel, and you have the AC one, and you have the car charging using the AC. But I do not see any dual charging possibility with this one, meaning that you won't be able to charge AC while using solar input. There's gonna be either AC or solar. This device also comes with UPS functionality. So if you're at home and you are like me, you're working from home and you have your laptop and you're working with it. I mean, laptop is not the best, like it doesn't really matter because laptop has battery itself. But if you need UPS functionality for your desktop or any other appliance, this supports UPS mode, meaning that if you're losing power, this will remain on, your device will remain on, and it will just be functional. Like I said, this device is have a 12 volt port, and as we can see here, it has like 88 hours remaining. I'm gonna plug my fridge on it just to confirm that it works. You click on the small button here for this section of the panel, and as soon as the fridge kick in, it will show how much output and how much input it's receiving. In this case, it won't have any input, but it will be using output, and it will tell you how much time you can run that fridge at that current usage. You can see here. So right now it's outputting, like the fridge is taking like 48 watt hour, and it could run for 4 hours because it's like at 44%. So if this was full, you can run for 8 hours the fridge at its full capacity. But in a real scenario where your fridge is a fridge, the way it's working, it's never running all the time. It's running up to get its temperature, then it will stop. So if you have a good fridge that is a good energy, say like in a good energy mode, that is like all respectable fridge that you will see on the market will do that. The compressor will start, reach a certain level, and then stop. So meaning that with this power bank, you can maybe do like 2 days if it's not too hot outside. If you're doing 2 days out of this one, it's gonna be the max that you will be able to run this, because at night you won't be able to recharge or anything. So this AFERY is running this fridge right now. One question you might ask you is, will this device shut off if the fridge is stopping consuming electricity? Because these devices will some devices will automatically shut off the 12 volt port or any other port if you are not using them for a long period of time. We did not have much issue with this device. I don't recall having this issues, but it was something I was worried on when we got this device. But in the end, it was working fine. We never experienced an issue where the device will stop, like, and then the fridge will be off, and then we lose everything in the fridge. So that never happened. This device has also like USB-C ports and USB ports. It has plenty of them, so you can charge 6 devices, actually 5 devices. And you just need to click this button to enable the USB-C or USB port. It has like 100 watt, 20 watt USB-C, It also have like USB 3.0 and regular USB-C, I think. Yeah. So overall, this device is great. It is quite lightweight. It's about do I have the weight here? Yeah, it's 6.5 kilogram. You can lift it by one hand. It's pretty easy. It has a nice handle that you can bring. This though have a handle, and unlike this one, like it's not a square. It is square, but you cannot really stack them. So it's not that bad. I've seen worse item like this. You can actually put like the bag here if you want, but you won't be able to use the handle. But I'm not really like this is really useful to transporting the device. We actually, because it's so small, we actually went to a restaurant where our device was almost empty and we could not recharge them anywhere. So at the restaurant, we actually brought this device with us and asked them, can we charge it, you know? And then we just recharge this device in an hour. When we get back, this will run for the next 2 days, or maybe like 1 day, to keep our fridge until we get to our next destination. So this is also another reason why we bought the smaller devices, because we wanted to have Starlink running out of this from time to time, and run Induction cooktop on this one. And also, since it's smaller, we can actually bring it ourselves with us anywhere, in a restaurant, at a coffee shop, and just recharge this as we're drinking our coffee. So it was really convenient. The small form factor is nice. So overall, great product. It has some lights. Never use that. Maybe it's useful, but you know, they all do. They all have that feature. Could be useful at night. So as you can see now, the fridge stopped, and right now, like I still have 72 hours, but it's not really warm. It's not really real temperature. So if you are in a warm environment, you're in a car, don't expect this to run the fridge for more than 2 days. You won't last more. I mean, yeah. So overall, this is a good product. Met the need for what we needed. Run Starlink, run our laptops using the PC adapter. You can run pretty much all appliances. You have a small, you open this and then you have your AC outlet. It only has one AC outlet, so maybe you need to have not an extension cord, but like, you know, a cord with multiple AC outlet on it, and just make sure you're not gonna go over 800 watt, but it has overload protection and all the security feature. And even if you're going to 800 watt, it can surge up to, if I'm not mistaken, 1600 watt. So for a short period of time, it can go over 800 watt. Meaning that maybe this could run a bigger load that you expect. I mean, like, I haven't run more than 800 watt on this device, but we never had issues running anything out of it. You can probably run a coffee machine with it. Maybe we can do a test of that if you guys want. So just let us know in the comment if you want me to give it a shot, you know, and I'd be more than happy to show you that it actually can do the job. So it's a really nice, good device, very small, very lightweight, 15 pounds, 6.8 kilograms. Very nice packaging also, comes with everything you need. A very nice bag where you can fit all the cables in it. Very happy with this device. Now if we go on the bigger device is, I would say like the battery, it's lithium ion phosphate also, which is very safe batteries. You can recharge them and discharge them over 3,500 times. I mean, you're never gonna have issues with your battery in the end. The device, this is the AFERY P110 model. It is not the lightest. It has two handles here. You can lift it. It's about 22 kilograms. No effort lifting it for sure and bring it where you want, but I will not carry this for a long distance. I will, if I need to carry something for a long distance, I will use this for sure without any issues. Otherwise, I will use that one if I don't need to move it around in too much places. Like you just leave it in the car, in the back of your car, and then you use all the devices out of it. It can charge from the AC input up to 700 watt on AC, and on the DC it's at DC XT90, which is a up to 500 watt port. Still between 11.1 volt to 50 volt. It's written here, so you never forget about it. And these are very important if you want to connect solar panel in series or parallel. You need to be cautious on this, because if you go over the 50 volt, you're gonna burn this probably. I haven't tried it. I don't know if there's any security around it, but I will not give it a try. I will make sure to not do that. The screen is really bright. For AC charging, you can charge this device in only 2 hours at 700 watt. But in reality, you will charge at 700 watt up to 80% in no time. Like in an hour and something, you will reach out 80%, which is plenty of battery. If you want to get that extra 20%, which I think is probably recommended, because if you have time to charge, for an hour, you probably have time to make sure it's 100% capacity. Because at 80%, like the other brands and other batteries, power stations, they all reduce by half. So this one will start charging at 350 watt only, just like any other devices. So it's really important that if you're buying a power station, that the input of the AC is very high, because at 80%, it's gonna drop by 50%. So if you're buying another brand where it says like, oh, this device can charge up to 400 watt, well, first, this one is 700 watts, and at 80%, the other one will only do like half of it, which means that it's gonna take a long time to get that last 20%. So 2 hours fully charged from 0 to 100%. And for the solar input, which is 500 watt, let me take the actual box here that we received lately. It's rated that it takes about 3 hours at 500 watt. What does that mean? Is that 500 watt, it's not something you will get, right? If you have a 200 watt solar panel, you probably won't get 200 watt input, as you know, because of the solar, the sun angle, and the sun level or whatever. So to charge this beast with 200 watt, it will take maybe 5 hours, over 5-6 hours. If you have these two solar panels, and use them in series or parallel, you will get up to 400 watt, which means that if we do the math, 3 hours, 500 watt. If we have 400 watt, more likely it's gonna be 6 hours. So one solar panel, like the whole day. 2 solar panel, good 5 hours. So it's very good, you know. I mean, you want a device and solar panel that you can recharge in less than 6 hours, because it's unless you're not moving, you won't be charging it for the whole day. Maybe you will deploy these solar panel for like 2-3 hours when you're somewhere where you can do it, and then you will just pack them up. But during that time, you really want the maximum output of the solar panel going to your device, and that your device is able to sustain your workload for the whole day or two until you recharge it again with AC or solar, depending on your needs. If you're staying somewhere for like a week, no issues, right? Like you will leave them deployed, and on the morning, connect, plug it, get all the energy from the sun, and enjoy the day. But these are foldable ones too, so you need to be cautious about the wind. So on the input time, very good. This device also supports dual input. It has a 2-way fast charging technology. So I'm not sure what that means. I believe you can charge it with solar and AC at the same time. So on the charging side, it supports dual charging. The smaller one don't. The dual charging is a good feature, but in reality, you will either only use AC or solar. If you buy the car adapter, which is a XT90, where I put it in the bag. If you buy that AC, where is it? Okay. So if you buy the car charger, you can charge this device. As you can see here, this is XT90 and not XT60. So you need 2 of these if you want 2 devices. And then you will charge this device using the charging port to your car. It will take about, if you are 0 to 100% with this and you have nothing running, it will take about 18 hours to run. 18 hours is a long time. I mean, unless you're driving for 2 days and you're not charging anything, it's helpful, you know. Like if you're running for 2 hours, you leave this plugged in your car, you charge the device, so you kind of just keep what you have as a battery, so it can give you a few more days of your fridge as you're driving from time to time. You're recharging it, but in reality, this won't save you. Like, you will need to use solar or AC, because 18 hours is very, very long. And that's if nothing is running. If you have a fridge running and it's over, like, it's around 30 degrees, this will help to maybe gain a few more hours, maybe half a day, as you're driving and recharging this device a little bit. That was our plan with 2 of these, making sure that we can run our fridge in a much more longer period, because we can recharge this one at 100 watt and this one at 100 watt. But in reality, this was not that helpful, as we thought, maybe saved us a lot of hours. But yeah, it's a nice to have. You know, like you don't really need it, but if you're planning on driving and you need a little bit of to keep your charging, it's a good idea. This device have a nice open section here, and here you can put all your cables. So put your cable here. Where's my AC cable? Oh, there you go. You have this AC here, and then you can also have your XT90 to MC4 connection in here. Everything fit, and it's there, right? So this bag is useless. Not really. One thing that we like about this bag is the form factor of it. So yes, with this device, we did not need the bag, though with this smaller device, we needed the bag. So for the bag, we will explain you a little trick that we did with this. So let's continue with the review of this device. So it's a 1200 watt hour inverter. It can surge up to 2200 watt, meaning that you can run a lot of things on the AC inverter. The AC inverter also have like 4 ports. This is kind of removable if you want. You can remove it, but it protects from dust. But sometimes it's really hard depending where you have this device. I would have preferred this to open, like, I don't know, in some other ways, but it is what it is. It's a pure sine wave inverter, which is really good. 4 ports, plenty of space. You don't even need extension cables to have more ports. 12 volt DC, 6 USB and USB-C ports. You have the output and the input that are being used, and it gives you how much hours remaining for the very bright screen, very big. So it's really helpful. You know, like you have some devices where it's kind of hard to read the numbers and things like that. This is no problem at all. The only issue is that the screen don't shut off, but it's not really taking a lot of power. If we just turn on the inverter itself will be taking some power consumption. So if we look at the inverter, right now it's like 99 hours. If we just turn the inverter without running anything, like 76 hours. Well, 82, 85. Okay. I mean, it's 85 hours at 95%, which means it's pretty good. I mean, it's a big battery bank, like 1200 48 watt hour capacity, which is 26 amp hour at 48 volt for what it means. It has a lot of input and outputs. You can charge it in no time. It is big, but not too big, you know, like it's not taking too much space. So it's pretty, I mean, we really like this product. So far, no complaints whatsoever. And you can put all the cables there at the top, or you can use the bag to store all your cables. When you're charging them, you can use solar panels. This is the solar panel. Very nice. Like, this is where the cables are. It comes with Anderson cables as well as standard MC4, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, you can buy these panels just without these power station for any other with any other power station that you have. You have all the specs here. I don't want to go into the details of them. What I can tell you though is that when I was first starting to go in solar panel, people were saying, oh, if you're buying a solar panel at 200 watt, the maximum that you will be doing is like 100 watt. So I'm like, okay. When I first tried these at home, I was getting like 190 watt. I was like, what? That's not what I was expecting. I mean, it's impressive. And I also got some time where I was actually getting 200 watt or 202 watt. I don't have any devices to confirm if that's the real values, but I mean, numbers don't lie. Like if it's good, I mean, I was pretty happy with the results. They are foldable. You have kickstands, and then you can actually open them. This is one panel. It's like there's 4 of them. So I'm not gonna deploy it. I'm gonna show you a video of it deployed. The size of this is pretty small. It's like 21.5 by 21, or maybe like with the handle 22 or something like that. Yeah, it has grommets like this. So these grommets here can be used to make sure that they are at the ground if it's a bit windy. I'm gonna show you a video of what we've done with our SUV, where we put this on the top of our SUV and returning the device. Very windy today. Oh, tiens. So another thing we did with these devices is another thing we wanted to do is run a induction cooktop with these devices. Like, can we run an induction cooktop with this device? I mean, this is rated at 1,200 watt, but it can surge up to 2,200 watt. So I'm just gonna show you a small example here. Let me open this. So the device starts, runs. Now there's no pot here. That's why I get some error here. Let me just go grab a pot. Here, I have a induction cooktop running out of this 1,200 watt. It's right now taking 63 watt, and it could run for 73 minutes at 95%. If we make that to levels, this was medium intensity. If we make that, let's say like level 6, 7, 8. So at level 8, it's about almost 1,000 watt. If you need to boil water usually it needs a minimum of 1000 watts, you know. And then we put it at the maximum of it, which is level 10, and at level 10 it's going at 1042 watt, 41. Everything is working. It's not beeping, it's not overheating, the fan itself is not running. It will probably start kicking at some point. So at 1240 watt, I can run this device for 30 minutes. So if you're planning to use induction cooktop with this device, you can definitely do it. That being said, you will need to be really quick in your meal, because 40 minutes of this and you have depleted your battery. If you have a fridge, you need to think that overnight it will take at least 20% of the battery. So if you are cooking at night, you need to make sure that you will stay at higher than 20%. So let me see. You see that the water is now starting to boil, like 91%, and the water should boil in a few minutes. So in the end, to boil some water, I didn't do the math. Maybe I'll review the video itself, but we're still at 91%, 90%. It took what, maybe like 3% to boil the water, which is, in my opinion, it's amazing, because you're not gonna run this for hours with induction cooktop, but you can actually make your coffee in the morning, and like the water is boiling right now. You can see all the smoke, and it took like 2-3%, right? And I can just shut off this, and then we're back to like 90 something hours. And I can turn off the... There you go. Now the inverter is turned off. This stopped working and the water is hot for my coffee. So yeah, you can run an inverter on this big device. Can you run it on this small device? I'm not sure. Let's give it a try, you know? Why not? I mean, the water is already hot, but it's not gonna be the same test. So let's give it a try with this small device. Let's start. Let's open this. It's already open. Let's turn the AC. Let's use the inverter here. So now I will start this, but I will make it like from medium to 0 to the lowest setting. So this is level 1. Actually, let's put it in temperature. So level 1 on this induction cooktop is 140 degrees. As you can see, it's running. How much watt? Well, it says 4 watt, but I don't think it's right. Okay. Oh yeah. So this cooktop actually, when at lower level, it's not gonna take much energy, because it's like when it reaches temperature, it stops taking batteries, AC input, and then when it see that it need to get back to 140 Fahrenheit, it will get some energy. So now it's at 140. This is hot, so that's why it's not taking anything. But then you put it at 180 degrees to 210. So at 210, I just heard a small sound here. So it's taking some battery now, 600 watt, 616, and it's working, you know. Then you put like 250. 280, 280, 3 720 Fahrenheit, 669, 360. So at 360 it's actually going to 725 watt, and it's still working. I'm not also hearing the fan right now, but I know this one will kick in because the fan on this one is a little bit run way often that's this one. So at 360 here, the water was already hot, it's starting to boil right now. 390 Fahrenheit. So 78. So if I go at 430 Fahrenheit, now this one is going to 834 induction inverter. The inverter is rated to 800 watt, and it's actually 835 watt. Induction cooktop running out of it. Water is boiling. Let me see if I can go up to 460. So 460, this should be around 900 watt in a short time. Let me go to, so this is the last level, the maximum of it. So at this induction cooktop at maximum is taking only 836 watt, and this pure sine wave is handling it. So I don't know how it works, but I believe they have a lot of protection here that you can actually run an induction cooktop out of a 800 watt power station, which is I don't understand how it works, but you know, it's working. I mean, I don't know what they are doing to make it work, if it's taking more, but it's doable. Will I do it? Not really, you know, because you can only run this for maybe like 20 minutes if you run this at the maximum time. With this one, you can use an induction cooktop and give it a try, and as long as you don't need your power station for fridge and other needs, or that you have a lot of sun, or you know you're gonna be driving for quite a few hours and you use the car charging cable out of it. So let me get rid of this and I'll get right back to you. They have warranty, so with all purchase they give you this warranty card. You just scan the QR code on this, or you send them the email. They ask you for the proof of purchase, and then after that they say like, perfect, you have an extended 5 years guarantee. So with LiFePO lithium iron phosphate batteries that is good for 10 years. The device is warranty for 5 years. Now people will say like, oh yeah, you have warranty for 5 years. I mean, what happened? Well, I'm gonna tell you a story with what happened to us. We actually had an issue with our device, and that's why I'm doing this review today, because I'm so happy with the support team and the whole experience I got with them, with the AFERIY company. The issue that we had is the XT90 port here, and a small issue. The XT90 port actually, like, I don't know if it was because of too much heat or if because the kids, when they plugged car charging and unplug and plug use the solar, and you know, like, as it actually like disconnect from the device, so we could not really charge it anymore from solar. The support process was very easy. They ask you you send an email, they ask you to take a video of it, you send them the video, make sure that they can actually see the video using like YouTube Shorts, private Shorts, I guess is the easiest way to do it. And then when they acknowledge the issue, they actually sent a small prepaid return package slip that they ask us to actually call the company to come pick up the device. They just ask you to get the device, get all the cable that you have with you, and make sure you package it and then you return it. I was a little bit worried about the whole process at first because I was like, this is still expensive. I mean, it's not like it's not like $50, right? So I was like, but I had such great experience with them, and for various other reasons, I've asked various technical questions like, could I use like a intelligent inverter to recharge this? And they asked me what type of inverter I was going to be using, because they said like technically you can do it. My point was like I had this one here, but unfortunately this one was not pure sine wave. It's a modified sine wave. So I would say like I was kind of new in the whole power station industry, and I should have never bought this one. They said like because of the type I had, there was no way it was a good idea to use it because it could damage the device. So I never used it, and basically I try to sell it or give it to someone that needs it. But yeah, the support process was really easy. I received that box a few days ago, and now I decided it was time to actually make a video of this device because I really like the company. I really like this device. The support process was amazing, and they actually honored everything that they've said here. Like 5-year warranty. I mean, it was 2 years. Almost 2 years that I have it, and yeah, I mean, no complaints whatsoever. Very happy. I did not have to spend one single dime for the whole return process. Received the box, sent with in a box, sent the device back. They confirmed they received it, and they sent it back to me. Like, I'm very impressed. You know, like I was expecting that I will have maybe some shipping charge, but maybe this will change in the future. But as of today, as I'm filming this video, that was the whole process. They actually sent me a replacement device, brand new, new bag, new everything, and very happy. So I'm telling you, this is like you're not gonna see that with other companies, I'm pretty sure. When I was looking for these devices, I had other brand in mind. Like you probably know them. I sent email to ask for the if it could be possible to charge from car, like from the starter battery cable and stuff like this, if it will make sense or not. And I really felt that all these other brands were giving me generic response, but with these people, when you send the email to them and they reply, you really see that it's someone behind it that actually replied to your email. So it's not like a robot, or it's not AI automated. You know, I mean, in some ways it's good, in some other ways it may be bad, depending on what you think. But for me, I really prefer the trust and the brand itself, the way it works, it feels that you're really working with some humans. And on a side note, when we received the device, I was really happy just to have received it. Guess what happened the same night? We actually lost power in our home. And I'm gonna show you a video of it about us charging our not charging, but plugging in our TV and our lights while all the other neighbors don't have any power at home. Huh? Ah, non, non, c'est correct.
Hey, t'es en train de faire un unboxing quand il fait noir?
Ah, ben là, on a manqué de courant. On vient de le recevoir en plus, fait que c'est pratique. Oh!
Oh yes, AFERY.
Ça.
On va chercher les chandelles.
C'est juste ça.
T'as une autre garantie?
C'est la même.
Oh.
Oh!
Non.
Ah, on a juste 27%, mais. Allez,
C'est mieux que rien.
on va aller charger une lumière. Viens.
Ok, une lumière installante. On peut quand même allumer ça. Ah, fait que moi, je vais me promener avec ça. C'est bon, on va prendre avec ça. Bon, là, je peux te faire chauffer ma viande? Je le fais dehors, c'est vrai? Ah, on va voir.
Donc, bon, ok, on a juste 27% là, mais bon. Ça va être mieux. We watch TV and everything, and at some point, like, you know what? I'm gonna plug in the fridge because, yes, the fridge can stay on if you leave the door closed for 4 to 6 hours. But like, it's better to keep your food safe, you know, and not get sick of anything. So we actually plug our fridge out of these devices. So overall, very good experience with this, very good support. So yeah. We open that. Would I recommend this brand? Like, definitely yes. Like, there's no reason not to. It's cheaper. It just works. You never hear this thing. Like this one, you never hear the fan almost. It's really, really low. And like, we were sleeping in the car with this device underneath us, and like, we never heard that. We hear we were able to hear the fridge, but this one, never. This one though, like the sound of the fan is kicking in quite often, even with just like a laptop plug in it. So if I had to buy only one of these, and I do have room and I don't need the lightweightness of this, I will definitely buy this 100%. There's a bigger unit, which is at 2000 watt hour with a bigger inverter. I would have liked, when I bought my second unit, I was thinking to sell this and make the bigger one. But unfortunately, it's the depth of it, of the other device, seems bigger. And because we were in a SUV with 4 people, sleeping in it. Good luck doing that. I don't think you will ever see that anywhere else. We had to stay with this form and buy something else smaller, so that you can put that somewhere else, because this was way too big for everything we needed to bring with us. But so on the con side of this, I don't see much cons. I mean, the only con that I will have is there's a few issues that happen. So on the con side, on both devices, we had the same issue. one of the issue that happened is at some point we opened it and nothing was working. The screen was blinking. If I have a video of it, I will post it. I will add it. So at that time we had reached the support, like I said, and they asked for videos, and I actually didn't do follow up, and it was my fault more than them. They asked for a video of it, and I wasn't really sure what platform to use to send the video. So basically I never got a real answer because I never follow up on it, because I found a workaround. So the workaround was, you on this device, when it happened, we just drained the whole battery, because some port was working but the charging wasn't working. So what we did is we just drained the company battery completely, and when it was drained, everything went back to normal. Just recharged it to 100%. I guess it kind of did a reset of the BMS or whatever inside this. The same thing happened with this one, but this time nothing was working. Even though it was like 60%, couldn't use the inverter, couldn't use any of the ports. We just brought that to the coffee shop, and then we tried to charge it with and as we were charging it, the ports worked. But if we will shut it off and restart, it will still be blinking and nothing will work. So what we did is we were able to charge it to 100%, and then at some point the port was working, and then we're able to drain it completely. And once it was drained, everything went back to normal. So I'm not sure why that happened, but overall it was not a big issue. I've seen bigger issues with other devices where some ports stopped working or things like this, or like for a way more longer period of time. I mean, you can look at other brands' videos. With these devices, I feel confident that this can happen from time to time, but is it a major issue? No. I mean, it only happened once in maybe once per device in about a year or two. So, and basically you just reset by draining depleting the battery itself completely, and then once it's depleted, it works. So, and at the end of the day, if you have issues, I know the warranty will work and the support will be there. This device proved it to me. Brand new device, I received it free of charge. They never asked me to do anything to actually promote this beast. I really did it on my own, because as a IT consultant, I like to travel. I'll show you some places where we went, where we're charging this out of the sun with the lake and the sun and the fire pit and everything. It just worked, it meets our needs. These solar panels are great, very, very thin, very, very small compared to other brands, and we were able to get at least almost 400 watts out of them. I think the max we've seen in a real scenario as we were traveling was 365 watts or something. Yeah, it's impressive. One solar panel at home, we're able to get over 200 watts. So yeah, I mean, no complaints whatsoever. I mean, these solar panel, for the price, it's way cheaper than all the other brands, and I'm pretty sure you get the most out of it. So if you buy two of these or one of these, with either of these devices that fits your needs. If you need to be there to run something for a long period of time, run this. Otherwise, you can use this for emergency situation, or if you have less needs than we did. But for us, running fridge, Starlink, 3 laptops, drone, yeah, it's we need a lot of things. So it fits our needs, very nice. Very good form factor, it's flat here, so you can stack stuff on top of it, which is perfect, versus a lot of other brands don't have this as a square flat surface. so because it's not flat and you cannot really stack anything on top of it, it's round and it's not really, so this is perfect form factor from my point of view, or for our armies. So I actually forgot something. Where is it? So there you go. So one issue that we had with this XT90 car charging cable, we did not experience it with this one. This one is a brand new one because we just bought another one. But one thing that happened with the old, I'm not sure where I put it, but anyway, I know this one looks brand new, but we add another one like this, and we actually plugged it in the car for over 1 year. When we did our Florida trip, we did not add a smaller device with it. When we did our first trip to Florida and everything, we never had issue with this. We never had issue with the car cigarette lighter connection. So one thing that happened with at some point in our trip to Vancouver is that the first one that we had like this, the actual cigarette lighter plug broke. So basically we're charging this device as we're driving to Vancouver with our fridge running, and then this stopped charging. And we figured out that was the charging cable, the charging cigarette lighter. So we said maybe it's the fuse, but it wasn't the fuse. Luckily we had another port on the SUV, so we used the other port, and maybe a few hours later, same thing happened. This stopped charging, and the cigarette lighter is broke again. So we had a third one in the front and one cigarette lighter on the back, and we really wanted to optimize the capacity of keeping this as we're driving, to recharge it at least at 80, 90 watts to keep maybe like a few hours more of fridge while we're driving. And we didn't want to take the chance to break the third outlet in the front, so we actually bought an extension cable like this. So one thing to keep in mind is, if you are using your cigarette lighter of your car, maybe buy an extension cable and then plug this into the extension cable. What we found out is that this was getting very hot, and I think because it was very hot, it actually broke the cigarette lighter. As soon as we used that, this end, a good quality cable, this end was still cold, and this was quite hot because of the way it connects, I think. So I don't know if it's because the cable became faulty after 1 year. I'm probably gonna ask them, maybe they will ask me to send the other cable that I have to have a review or to experiment something of it, if it can be helpful for future versions. But so now we have 2 broken cigarette lighter plugs, but at least the workaround that we found that worked for us for the remaining of our 5-week trip across Canada was to use an extension cable with this. And then the last cigarette lighter plugs we had in the front of the vehicle did not fail. But we were a bit cautious by unplugging it every single time that we don't need it. But like I said, we never had issues with this. The first item that we had like this. We never had issue with it, and it actually worked well for like a year to like Florida trip over like 3 weeks and do it over Christmas, and it worked very well. So I mean, I was really surprised when it actually failed our device in our SUV, but at least we had a workaround with this. Another thing to keep in mind is if you live, there's no starter battery protection on these devices. Most of them don't anyway. So if you're charging through the cigarette lighter, if your car is not running, it will drain your starter battery. One thing we have tried to use is a device that actually like will protect your starter battery. So you could actually charge this from that device, and then you plug that into your car, so that if your battery becomes too low, it will stop charging the device. I don't have enough trust in this device because I mean it's not really good for a car battery, a regular battery, to always drain it. So we kind of used it, but in the end we still had issues with one issue we had with the battery for some other reason. I think it was something else with the car, but we actually end up not being able to start the car. So anyway, some friend that we met was happy to boost our car, and then we're able to continue our journey. All that said is, I'm not sure what happened with this, but it happened. Overall, not a big issue. You can, like, if you're buying this device, I will suggest that you buy an extension cable to protect your cigarette lighter from your car. But like I said, maybe it's because it was faulty, maybe it's because it was like, I don't know if there's any recommendation about like charging it over like 18 hours. If it's like, maybe it's, some cars are different, but our car worked well for like 1 year. But in our last trip, this happened. But other than that, not a big issue. Last thing I want to say to you, a quick trick: this bag. You don't really need the bag itself, because you can put all the cables here in this cover. It doesn't have like charging on top of it for your phone. But with the bag, one tip you can do is you can take this bag and you can put like bathroom stuff in it. As you can see, this one is not as brand new as this one, and if we open it, we should have our toothbrush, our toothpaste, and I put like my razors in it and everything, and it's a perfect bag actually for van life, you know, like you just go to the bathroom with this small and you have everything you need. So when you're doing, so basically like with 2 of these you get one per person, and then I go to the bathroom with this, my wife will go with this one, and basically like we just go to the bathroom with this and then brush our teeth, put everything back, and then when you get back to the van, you just store it, you know, and then you always know that your stuff is in there. So it's very, very nice bag for that. Kind of funny though. I mean, it's not the purpose of the bag, but that's what we did with it. We like. So in the end, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Warranty, very, very good, 5 years, and they actually honored everything. They actually sent a replacement unit for it for free, and I actually reviewed this product myself on my own will, because I really like these this product and this brand, and I really trust on them and the honest people that's running this business behind it. So hopefully, if you like this video, let me know. If you end up buying some like one of these units, or if you have bought one of these units, or if you have bought some units from other people, other brand, that and you have experienced issues or whatever, like just drop a comment below, right? But this brand is definitely like a game changer, I think, in the industry. It's cheaper, it just works, and you know, Black Friday is coming up shortly. I mean, I'm filming this before Black Friday, but it's yeah, I hope it will convince some people to buy something of this. They have really good discounts at the moment also, but I mean, I put a link below in the comments if you want to, if you like this and you end up buying one, feel free to use it or not. I mean, whatever, I don't really care. I really did that because I really appreciate this product and it just filled all the needs. So yes, enjoy, and I hope it was informative and that you liked the video.